Former UFC fighter Matt Brown fought a lot of strong guys in his UFC career and MMA career as a whole. When pressed as to who was the physically strongest guy he fought, he says Johnny Hendricks for sure, juice to the gills. Lawler was the strongest, presumably clean. Brown is retired, but he leaves the door open to do something like fighting in Karate Combat against Carlos Condit. Karate Combat's had a ton of UFC fighters fight on their cards, and they are interested in Matt Brown fighting for them. It would be an exciting fight. Either way, it'd probably be a knockout. A rare occasion that Chris Cyborg is actually the underdog, so maybe some betting potential there. She's taking on Larissa Pacheco Saturday, October 19th. That is in Saudi Arabia, the PFL show there, which is headlined by Francis Ngannou versus Renan Ferreira. For the first time since 2008, I'm a betting underdog. Larissa Pacheco has won 10 fights in a row, and 7 of those coming by first round knockout. She's 10 years younger than me and beat Kayla Harrison in her last fight, but I'm an old savage and I'm coming for her belt. Speaking of Kayla Harrison, she's on the main card of the UFC pay-per-view next weekend, UFC 307. She's taking on Ketlin Vieira. Some wanted to have Wonder Boy versus Joaquin Buckley on the main card, but that will serve as the featured prelim. Pereira headlines UFC 307 against Khalil Roundtree. He dares Khalil Roundtree to bet a percentage of his purse that he won't shoot for a takedown, because leading up to this fight, there's been some talk as to who would shoot for a takedown first, and Khalil Roundtree's coaches say that Khalil won't. Khalil says he won't. If anyone shoots for a takedown, it'll be Alex. Pereira thinks a boring fight style has caused Ankalaev to not get a title shot against him. Alex has 6 KOs in the UFC. I have 6 KOs in the UFC. He knows why he's not fighting me and fighting the number 8 guy. Let's focus on your fight. I'll do the same. We'll see you after if you accept. Good luck, champ. It is a little bit weird that the number 8 guy is getting a title shot over the number 2 guy who's undefeated in his last 12, but that's what the UFC is doing at the moment. And Ankalaev is going to fight Rakic at UFC 308 October 26th. Rakic is ranked number 5. Alex Pereira also tells Kevin Iole that he thinks Dana White's new boxing promotion will begin with him fighting for them. I don't know why the UFC is using this free fight to promote Pennington's fight with Pena next weekend. This was a complete snooze fest of a fight. Truly an all-time banger. My jaw dropped. I was snoring. 58,000 fans are expected to be at this Frankfurt, Germany card, Oktagon MMA in December. In November, they have former UFC fighter Zhalgas Zhamagulov fighting for them in Bratislava. The Contender Series GOAT Torres Finney will be fighting Tuesday. Again in the Contender Series, 3rd time in under a year fighting on the Contender Series, rejected 2 times by Dana White. You gotta think if he wins this fight, they're gonna sign him, which is kind of funny because just over a month ago after Finney won, Dana said they wouldn't sign him because he'd get smoked in the UFC, but if he wins, they're probably gonna sign him. UFC has so many events, they can throw him on somewhere. Finney is 9-0. His opponent is 7-1, Abdullah El Rami, who is fighting out of Spain. Aileen Perez gained over 60,000 followers on Instagram after her post-fight twerk in the face of Daria Zhelezhnikova. Perez has a never-ending feud with Tracy Cortez. Tracy's scared because she talks a lot about me without tagging me. I'm not surprised being that you lost to a strawweight. To be fair, that strawweight was Rose Namajunas. Definitely not an easy fight for anyone. Rose is going to be fighting Erin Blanchfield at UFC Edmonton on November 2nd. That's number 3 and 5 in the flyweight division. This is the co-main event, a 5-round co-main event. Originally it was expected to be the main event, but the main event is going to be a flyweight men's fight between Brandon Moreno and Amir Albazi. That's number 2 and 3 in the division. Moreno is number 2, Albazi is number 3. Albazi wants a title shot if he gets the victory. Card also has an interesting heavyweight scrap between Lewis and Denise. High chance of somebody getting knocked out in that one. Lewis is 2-2 in his last 4. Denise has an 8-0 record, but he's fought nowhere near the competition that Derek Lewis has in MMA. Ruslan got injured an hour before the fight. His knee popped out and he still fought with it and didn't talk about it. Legend. I could believe that because his leg looked really messed up after the fight. He looked like he could barely walk. Kutalaba ended up winning a pretty one-sided decision in that one. Kutalaba is a little bit more tame than he used to be. Still insane, but more refined in his insanity in the cage. Kevin Lee is just not UFC caliber fighter. I'm sorry, at his best bet is to just try and win a belt at the PFL. Winning the belt in the UFC would definitely be unlikely. He could beat a lot of guys on the roster, but I don't think the UFC wants to pay what he would want to get paid to just be another fighter on the roster. Renato Moicano should have been given that extra bonus for that insane 10-7 round one. 10-7 is pretty insane considering how big of a favorite Benoit Saint-Denis was going into that fight. Every fan should just agree to mess with Merab whenever he's seen at an event. It's too funny. A lot of guys seem to be doing that. They know they're going to get a huge reaction out of him. But I like that his focus is on fighting Umar. Umar, not only are you disrespectful, you're a liar if the UFC offered to fight me 2 times. Show the fans the contract and the dates. Hopefully they come up for a date for a title fight soon. Devin Haney's lawsuit against Ryan Garcia alleges battery due to Haney suffering physical injury or reputational damage, which will amount to millions of dollars, and emotional and mental distress. Every expert understands I never took PEDs knowingly. I've had this left hook since I started boxing, never needed anything to enhance it. This is ridiculous. If Devin needs money this bad, I got a sponsorship for him. It's a new kind of tampon made specifically for men. Moicano may not move up in the rankings on Tuesday after his victory over Benoit Saint-Denis, but he earned a tremendous amount of respect fighting with that severely injured shoulder, getting that 10-8 round in the first round and getting the doctor stoppage victory. Former Bellator fighter Sidney Outlaw fighting at Supreme Fight Night 7 in Mexico on November 18th. He fought Michael Chandler in the past and Gregor Gillespie, who sort of just fell off the face of the earth. He hasn't fought in over 3 years now, which is too bad. He had a lot of potential, tremendous wrestling, tremendous heart and conditioning, but he only wanted to fight guys ranked above him and was sitting out to do so, so the UFC took him out of the rankings and he just never ended up returning to fighting. A lot of people still want to see him fight. Come back. We miss you, Gregor. Where are you at? Did you retire? Did you retire from the UFC? Man, he could have continued fighting. He would have fought Armin, Gamrot, Oliveira. Imagine the fights. His last fight was a victory over Diego Ferreira in 2021. Sub of the week gonna go with PFL Glasgow, the Scottish Twister pulled off by Stevie Ray. Second time he's done that in his career. That card had an insane fight with 14 knockdowns in under 12 minutes, culminating in Lewis McGrilling knocking out Dean Garnett. That's 14 knockdowns in under 12 minutes. That's an average of over 1 knockdown per minute, so that's an insane stat right there. Marvin Vettori is supportive of Dricus du Plessis trashing his rival Brendan Allen.
Took a DNA test and the results came back French and German, British and Irish, and I was 2% African. So I am legally allowed to say the word nigga.